What's going on, guys? This is a Bitcoin video. Now, I really have a passion for Bitcoin and gold, so today I decided to put out a Bitcoin related video on some of my Bitcoin charts and where I see it going in the near term. Now, here are my charts on TradingView. I have Bitcoin on 3 different exchanges. The first one being Binance with Tether, the second one being Coinbase, US dollar, and the third one being Bitstamp, US dollar. So we have 1 Tether and 2 US dollars, and I have many different chartings. On the Bitstamp, guys, I have the most data. It goes back to 2012. On Coinbase, I have it to 2015, and on Binance, I have it to 2018, guys. I have a lot of pitchforks and Fibonacci's, and I'm going to explain what all these lines mean. We'll start on Bitstamp, guys, and now these are monthly candles. Now, I haven't touched any of these charts for quite some time. I kept these indicators up with pitchforks, Fibonacci time series, and, well, it's 2 pitchforks and a Fibonacci time series on this one. We go to a daily, and this is what I call a crossover. When we see the lines cross, that is what a crossover signals, and it normally signals volatility. So we had that on the 23rd, and within 2 days, we saw a ramp up in the price of Bitcoin. We also were passing a Fibonacci time series, the blue vertical line. Now, you might be wondering, when is the next crossover? Well, I don't see any on this chart, and this is the median line in this pitchfork. So I find this median line as playing a pretty sizable support, guys, and if we do crack this, expect some big swings. Now, we go to the Coinbase chart, and we see a Fibonacci time series on the 18th. Now, this is a logarithmic curve. We go to linear, and you can see more vertical lines, but it's just shattered through the median line and just kept on advancing. This is a very aggressive move, and it's gone parabolic. Now, I like to look on it on a log curve, and we do have a crossover coming up here very shortly. So we have the Fibonacci time series on January 18th, but we also have a crossover, and this is on February 2nd. So between this range, my charts are going to be signaling a very big move, guys. That could be up or down. It's going to be volatile. I don't want to say it's going to drop on this date or it's going to rise on this date. I'm just expecting volatility, guys. And we zoom out a bit. The next one isn't until May. So what this signifies to me, as Bitcoin can consolidate here for quite some time, maybe it gets a pop and hugs this line and then it comes back down. It's hard to predict going forward, but in the larger picture, I really love Bitcoin, and I recommend people buying what they feel comfortable losing, guys, because when you look at this, this looks mean on a monthly. It looks like it wants to break out and ultimately go higher. And if it does, you could be seeing north of 40, 50K in Bitcoin, which seems absurd. However, with the finite supply in Bitcoin, I don't think it is absurd at all. Now we go to the Tether chart, guys, and we'll put it on a daily, and we'll get this corrected a bit. And I don't see much going on. I see 24.4K as the 61% Fibonacci level. This will play a very big pivot. So if we do happen to come back down, look for this level to play a nice role of support. And if we crack it, things could get ugly. Now, I fluctuate between these charts a lot. I go from log to linear. I look for trends. I look for crossovers. So on a linear chart, we have a crossover here on January 21st. So one chart's telling me the 18th. This chart's telling me the 21st. And another chart's telling me the 2nd. So in that window, I'm expecting some volatility. So if Bitcoin consolidates around this 78% Fibonacci, it could possibly be gearing up to go higher, or it could be ready to retrace back, guys. But ultimately, guys, Bitcoin is something that I don't want to get caught trading. And if you want to trade stocks that relate to Bitcoin, I would focus on the GBTC. I would focus on Square, SQ. I would focus on MicroStrategy, MSTR. These are stocks that you can get Bitcoin exposure, but you won't feel married to selling it. Think about it. Bitcoin runs to 100K. You sell it. It drops to 30K. You feel like a king, but quickly slingshots back up to 150K. You would be killing yourself, guys, and it's something that I don't want to happen as Bitcoin is in its price discovery phase still. Now, what does that mean? That basically means Bitcoin hasn't found its true range to fluctuate. Now, the price discovery could be all the way up here at 300,000 a coin. Now, when could we see that? Well, that could be, in the mid-2020s we can see that. We can maybe come up to here, come back down to here, maybe come back up higher here, come back down to here. Keep repeating, rinsing and repeating. You can see Bitcoin cups, it cups, it cups, it cups, it cups. So Bitcoin is a very fascinating asset class to me, and it's something that I feel everybody should have some exposure in their portfolio, especially with the amount of US dollars we're printing. Bitcoin is something that it's worth the risk for the potential reward. Now, with that being said, I recommend you only investing what you're comfortable losing. Think about an amount, and are you comfortable losing about 80% of that? If the answer is no, you're allocated too much, which is why I recommend people get a nice base you're comfortable with and slowly accumulate, putting 100 here, putting 200 here. It drops, 10% by 500. Don't get crazy and only invest what you're willing to lose, guys. But in the bigger picture, if more celebrities, if more athletes want to start getting paid in Bitcoin, look at this. Russell Okung, an offensive tackle, asked to be paid in Bitcoin. Just think about it. When more and more people demand this asset, there's not enough for everyone to own one, which is just going to bottleneck the price higher. Now, you could be saying, well, what about altcoins? I personally don't like altcoins, and I'll show you why. There's a thing called the Pareto Principle, and the Pareto Principle states that the top 20% will make 80% of the output. So when you have the top 10 coins, you could make the case for market cap. That's saying the top 2 coins will make up 80% of the total space market cap. So yeah, you can gamble on some of these altcoins, hoping they appreciate in Bitcoin denomination, but looking at it in US dollar terms, in my opinion, is just silly because Bitcoin hasn't found its true price. That true price could be 300K, 400K, 500K until it mellows out and fluctuates around that mean price. Now, people talk about Ethereum. Ethereum is nice. However, I'd rather be in Bitcoin until things calm down. I think Bitcoin is king. You can just see by the market cap, a little under $500 billion. And at the moment, it has a dominance of a little under 70%. So this is my Bitcoin charts, guys. I like to tweet a little bit anything I see on Bitcoin, but for the most part, I'm looking for the 18th to give it some trouble. Now, we could be going sideways here. A good chart that I'm looking at right now is right here. I'm looking at the Binance chart, and I'm looking at it on a 2-hour. So let's make that a little bit better. I'm seeing Bitcoin could possibly just fluctuate in this range. The longer it does that, the more dangerous that can be, because what's happening is more people are getting in at this level. Meaning if the move doesn't happen, you could see them rush to the exits, which could force a fast dip down. And if we do see that, 24K is a nice level of support, the 61% Fibonacci. And if we do see that, I will be adding. And ultimately, if we get down to this 38% Fibonacci, that's a great add as well. I'm just going to be buying the dips, guys. Just don't get crazy and don't rush into it. I'm telling all my friends that 2021 will be the year of accumulation for Bitcoin, meaning this is the last time to get in before the boat takes off. Now, seeing it at 26,000 a coin is discouraging. You can't buy a full coin. It's like, oh, I got to buy micro amounts. Well, one Bitcoin is 100 million Satoshis. So just look at it in Satoshis. You have 10 million, you have 20 million, you have 30 million Satoshis. One day, a handful of Satoshis are going to have a nice amount of value to it. And if you're a Satoshi millionaire, you're better off than somebody who has no Satoshis. But there you have it, guys, for my Bitcoin breakdown, guys. If you want to see more of these breakdowns, guys, I'll make more of them. Now, I really enjoy doing the stock market breakdowns, but like I said, today there wasn't much going on in the market. So I figured I'd talk about Bitcoin because I really do believe in the technology, and I think it's something that people should be more aware of and the potential that it has to being a serious asset class in this financial system. You could also make the case it could break this financial system, how it's so tied to the US fiat world reserve currency. What happens when that's no longer the world reserve currency? World reserve currencies have fluctuated throughout the history of time, so who's to say that the dollar is cemented at the throne forever? But on that note, guys, I will see you later. Have a great night. Take care. Peace.